Whether it's taking a ride on the subway to finish a marathon in record time or attempting to assassinate your opponent, these are the times female athletes got caught cheating in 4K. Ever heard of Femke van den Dritch? She was a Dutch cycling prodigy with a, shall we say, electrifying secret. And no, this isn't about doping in cycling. Picture this, everyone pushing their limits on the climb, sweating. And here's Femke, zooming past as if she's on a weekend ride. Disaster struck though when her bike suffered a malfunction, and what looked like electrical wires were hanging out of it. Inspectors took a closer look and, surprise, found a sneaky motor and battery in her bike. Femke tried to play innocent, claiming it was her friend's bike. She just borrowed it and knew nothing about the motor. But the officials weren't having it, since she was also seen making unusual motions on the handlebars to operate the engine. Her secret was out and she was punished with a 6-year ban. And if you thought this was wild, wait till you see what's next on our list. But seriously, a motor? That's just straight up wrong. This isn't any better though. Madeleine de Jesus, a track star, was on the brink of potential gold glory in the 1994 Olympics in Los Angeles when she pulled a hamstring. But instead of dropping out, she had a genius solution. Call in her identical twin, Margaret, who luckily for Madeleine was also a pro athlete, to take her place in the relay. Imagine an Olympic switcheroo right under everyone's noses. Margaret had fooled the world for a day, until the team's coach realized the twins' trickery, preventing Margaret from running in the final, and the show was up. He pulled out the whole Puerto Rican relay team, and the gold medal dream was gone in the blink of an eye. Seems like truth has its way of always sprinting to the finish line. If you think that's crazy, wait until you see what Dora Ratchin did in the Olympics later in the video, and click that like and subscribe button before we get there. While the Puerto Rican coach wasn't willing to do everything to win, the next one on our list was. The Chinese gymnastics team was desperate for a good result in the Sydney Olympics in 2000. Their star athlete, Dong Fangxiao, was crucial in the Chinese women's team winning bronze. Like many gymnasts, Dong looked notoriously young, even too young to some. Her official papers suggested she was born in 1983, but when judges did some digging, they found she was actually born in 1986, which would make her only 14 years old, and already winning Olympic medals. However, athletes under 16 are not allowed to take part, and China was forced to give up its bronze medal. Paperwork tricks are one thing, but a downright assassination attempt? That's the next level. But it's what happened during the 1994 US Figure Skating Championships. Tonya Harding was struggling to beat her opponent Nancy Kerrigan, so she came up with a plan. Together with her ex-husband Jeff Gillooly and former bodyguard Sean Eckdart, they planned the attack on Nancy. They hired Shane Stant and his uncle Derek Smith to do the job, and on the 6th of January 1994, Nancy Kerrigan was attacked with a baton and struck on the lower right thigh. Luckily, the baton missed its original target, or we would be talking about assassination here. Karma came back with its own baton to hit Harding because she got a lifetime ban from the US Figure Skating Championship. Don't cheat. I know you didn't press that subscribe button yet. From the ice rink to the badminton court, we have a mysterious occurrence when a group of the best female badminton players were all playing dreadfully at the London Olympics. The Chinese pair couldn't get the ball over the net and were losing heavily, when suddenly the South Korean team also completely forgot how to play. They were playing so badly that it immediately attracted suspicion, and everyone in the crowd quickly knew what was going on. The lower you finished in these matches, the easier your opponent was in the same round. They were not the only ones. Players from 2 other countries did the same. After ignoring the judges' warnings to play fair and to the best of their abilities, all 8 players were disqualified from the tournament for deliberately losing a match. A marathon is pretty long, but the length some go to for a win will surprise you, like Rosie Ruiz, a regular secretary from a trading firm. Rosie shocked the world when she finished the 1980 Boston Marathon in just 2 hours, 31 minutes, and 56 seconds, a time of which a professional runner would be jealous of. The issue was none of the other runners ever saw her overtake them, and they stood in the finish in disbelief. You know who did see her though? People riding the subway on that day. It was discovered that Ruiz had not run the entire marathon, but she had come onto the course about a half-mile before the finish line after taking a ride on the subway. Everything started to make sense now, as it was a near impossible task for a non-athlete to finish a marathon in such a record time. A similar incident occurred at the 2019 Vancouver Half Marathon, where Emily Clark finished second, but things started to get weird when the fourth-placed runner finished the race and was in shock when she realized she wasn't on the podium. Her and other runners confronted Clark as they had not seen her overtake them at any point. This time, cameras were already everywhere on the course, and surely enough, they hadn't spotted Emily either. In comes the race director, who did spot Emily riding a bike during the marathon. But Emily insisted she did nothing wrong and said it must have been her twin sister riding the bike. And yes, you know it, she doesn't have a twin sister. So after that, Clark finally gave in and admitted she cheated and apologized. So the race organizers didn't pursue any other action against her. But just a day later, Clark posted on her Instagram story, she only got punished because they don't believe someone of her size could run this fast. She got back on the organizers' radar and a few weeks later got caught red-handed, cutting the course in a different event. Cheaters never learn. Martina Hingis is a tennis star with her own place in the Hall of Fame, even though she tested positive for cocaine in 2006 at the dusk of her career. But that wasn't her biggest cheat. Oh no, Martina was beautiful and always got men's attention, and just one man was apparently not enough to satisfy her. Her husband at the time had this to say: "A year after the wedding, we were supposed to meet in New York, and I wanted to give her a surprise. Upon arriving at the hotel room, it was me that was surprised, because Martina was not alone. However, he forgave her, and their marriage continued until she cheated again. Well, Mr. Forgiveness was willing to give her another chance, but she publicly ditched him during an interview and was soon seen enjoying her time with another man. She was cheating on men, and our next athlete looked like one." Dora Ratjian participated in the women's high jump at the 1936 Summer Olympics, in which she came fourth, and she also held a world record for the highest jump. However, the celebrations didn't last long for Dora, as she was stripped of her medals and records after officials discovered that she was actually born as Heinrich Ratjen, and insisting he always felt like a girl trapped inside a man's body did not help him. I really don't know how it took them so long to realize another man trying to take away the glory from women is William Thomas, who, after undergoing hormone therapy and transitioning to become Leah Thomas, remarkably clinched the women's NCAA swimming championship. Leah's performance in the 500-yard freestyle left jaws dropped, clocking in at an impressive 4 minutes and 33 seconds, putting her a full 1.75 seconds ahead of Olympic silver medalist Emma Weyant. To put this into perspective, male athletes typically complete this race in around 4 minutes and 6 seconds, with mere fractions of a second separating them. What do you think? Is this cheating or is it okay? Let me know in the comments. The East German women's team were incredibly competitive at luge. At the 1968 Winter Olympics, the Germans were exposed. They allegedly heat the rails of their sleds before the race to give themselves an advantage over the others. Their icy deception melted away, and all medals that were won by the German team were returned after the discovery of the scandal. But women athletes don't always have to cross the lines to make great moments happen, like scoring from the center line or confusing defenders. You need to see these high IQ moments in women's sports. Well, this video is over, so you might as well see it. What are you doing? Just click it.